Okay, so today I got my pants from Delta 2 Alpha. Now, the thing about these pants is it's such a deep subject. It really is. And I was so happy when I seen these. And I sent him a message and I talked to him and just the whole thing. So this is going to be a long video because there is so much ground to cover. These pants contain many, you want to call them hidden pockets, different types of concealments. And you have to, you can go to their site and you can look up some of them, but their site doesn't cover them all. And I'm not going to cover them all. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but I'll cover some. So first off, I want to mention that I am not, never have been, and never will be a member of the 511 crew. Because as Mr. Fox always said, that's the first guy I'm taking out. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. And whether you realize it or not, or you want to hear it, or you don't like it, or whatever, it's fucking true. And there are people that think like that, and they do actively act on those thoughts. And they will act on them. So that, and I've always known that anyway. I've never, even back in the 70s and 80s, never wore camel pants or the Vietnam combat boots. They were real popular. None of that stuff. Never. It sends a message I don't want to send. So that said, jeans are generally accepted almost everywhere, especially these days. Okay, so getting into the jeans. Women have known for a very long time about stretchy materials, all right? The material that these are made out of, the construction of them is excellent. You want to have material that moves. And it's only been in the last 10 years that maybe I've noticed that jean manufacturers are starting to put a certain amount of spandex and so on and so forth in the jean. Back in the day, it was bad news. 70s, 80s. I knew all kinds of guys that were tearing out their pants and everything. Well, in the early 80s, a couple people, one of them, Chuck Norris, the other, Bill Superfoot Wallace, came out with pants with a diamond gusset. And the pants also had a degree of stretchiness. Now, I did have a pair of Norris's kicking jeans because it was a real fucking problem. When you're trying to jump over fences, act the fool, we're not even talking about roundhouses. I mean, we're just saying, jumping over fences and going wild. The pants would tear. And this was such an innovative thing that Norris came out with, really. And then stretchy material. And these blow them away. Now, I had a kicking jeans, as I said. These fucking smoke them, in all ways. Construction, just everything. Stretchiness on these is so much better. Back then the fabrics weren't as advanced and stuff. So that said, we can get into the pockets. So, this is a Witch Doctor collab sap with us. Yeah. And it just conceals it so well. And I was wearing these earlier, and I had a couple things in here, and I was asking my roommates if it was printing and so on and so forth, and they're like, no. And they're both females, so I asked them, well, how do these pants look? Because, a female really has a much better understanding of all that. They really do. They're looking at rear ends, they're doing all that stuff. And they're like, they're great. They look good. So right there. That means a lot to me right there, that they're saying that these pants look good. Because I don't know what the fuck, if a pant looks good or not. If it fits and it doesn't look like it's, from the Rhodesian fucking mercenary, whatever issuance, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? Anyway, they approved them. So that said, these pockets back here, they're excellent. Then you get into the inner construction of these. And like I said, I'm not going to fully go into everything that's in these pants, but they're great. So you're spending, yeah, that's right. You're spending, and there's even a secret to these too. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. And there's more secrets in here too. Anyway, these are like $119, I think. I think they're even less than that because they're on Canadian currency. They're up in Canada. These guys are A-okay though. There's no problem with any of that. Anyway, you'll spend that on a fucking knife. You'll go out and spend $120, $200 on a knife, and you're neglecting the most important part of it. You really are. This, carrying the piece. I mean, this solves a piece to the puzzle that I think is way more important than a knife or any of that stuff. You know, this to me is way more important than that. Worry about the other thing later. You can always get a fucking piece of pipe and stick down the back of these. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever you want to do. But if you've got something like this, you know, you're more than halfway there. So yeah, I would definitely check these out for many reasons. I really would. That's my recommendation. And I'm going to wear these for, you know, quite a while and give them a long-term review. I'm going to really get into everything that you can do with these. And because in my opinion, the potential is great. So don't forget, I'll give you the link. And I'm telling you, this is such a step forward in everyday carry. It really is. Oh, and Blackie Collins did these jeans called tethers, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. I bought a pair of those, had like a pocket for a knife and a gun. They fucking sucked. They were horrible. They were on the path to these, but they were horrible. So I've tried this. I've also sewn my own covert pockets and surreptitious this and that and all kinds of jackets and everything from day one, from when I was like 5 years old. I started doing that. So I'm familiar with that. And yeah, you could start sewing some pockets in jeans, but you're never going to achieve what they've achieved here. By the time you get done sewing all this shit in here and doing it all, you're going to be like, I wish I had to spend $120. I'm telling you, it's fucking super reasonable for what they got going on here. If you wear jeans, if you're into everyday carry stuff, if you like carrying stuff in odd ways and so on and so forth, right here, man. I'm telling you, most of the work's done. 90% of the work is already done. It's just my opinion, but, you know, it's based on a really long, you know, involvement with this type of stuff. Direct involvement with oddball carry. There you go. If you know my history, you know what I'm talking about. So maybe I know what I'm talking about too.